Hello guys and gals, me Mudahar, and welcome to another episode of Deep Web Browsing, Dark Web Browsing, Dank Web Browsing, whatever you want to call it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode number 82 this fine week. I hope you've been enjoying the series so far. Once again, we return to the worlds of Freenet and Tor, and I think we're going to mix and match as much as we can this week, just to get a little bit of both worlds. Alongside that, I don't really know what the themes are, and of course it's not actually Sunday. I feel like I have to put that as a little disclaimer. This is actually the latest I've recorded a Deep Web video. It actually is Sunday. It's literally the night, I am recording. I'm going to be editing this in an hour or two. But ladies and gentlemen, this is Deep Web Browsing episode number 82. Of course, no common theme, but we get to sit back, relax, and see a part of the internet that's a little too dank for regular viewing. With that intro said, I think we'll go right into our very first website. So the first site we've actually found is apparently the fly plane, ladies and gentlemen. Now, of course, this is about building a model plane, but not just any old model plane. Also about taking flies, cryogenically freezing them, and then putting them onto said plane so that the plane will fly. Ladies and gentlemen, why am I not fucking surprised anymore? But here we go, ladies and gentlemen, the fly plane. Split a wooden matchstick. Take a wooden matchstick and slice a thin silver from one side. I don't even think if I had to make this a video, I can't, because it's isn't it fucking cruel? We'll get into it, hold on. Then cut the remaining sticks in two, lengthwise. Make sure you leave a little bit of the red tip intact for effect. Discard one half. So yeah, matchstick, very, very fucking small, of course. But here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have a matchstick. It's actually a really nice, fucking illustration, by the way, too. I like that art style. God damn, you know? Now let's go into this. Make the aircraft by gluing the sliver of wood, the wing, across the remaining part of the matchstick, the fuselage. If you want, you can use little scraps to make a tail section, or you can make a biplane. You know, you can fucking go any way you want, dude. This is all up to you. Or you can use a couple of thin slices of balsa to make a huge wing, one that will carry maybe 20 engines, and wait until we get to the fucking engines too. Indulge your aeronautical whims. Think of lift, think of thrust, think of innovation without the benefits of an industrial policy. Can we just fucking let's not get political? Okay, let's go into it. I used to have a friend that really got political. She's not a friend anymore, but let's go. Catch some flies. Catch a bunch of flies. Put them in a jar, and put the jar in the freezer. In a few seconds, the flies will be chilled out completely. This is called cryogenics, and it has its drawbacks. For example, the flies will be dead flies if you freeze them too long. Dead flies are no good, so if you're a tinkerer, refrigerate your flies. It takes longer to make them comatose, but they have a higher recovery rate than the ones you leave in the freezer next to the burritos. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, we now know basic cryogenics when it comes to this kind of stuff. Now, it's almost the same principle as if you're cooking lobster. A lot of people, what they would use, what a lot of people do is they put the lobster into boiling water and shit, right? And they kill it that way, or they steam it or whatever the fuck, right? Some people, what they do is they put a lobster into the fridge, right, or the freezer section. So if the lobster gets cold, right, it's almost like this principle in a way too. It's not dead, but it slows down so much to the point where it doesn't really feel anything. So when you gotta jab the knife into its head to kill it, right? Because that's what most people do to butcher lobster. The lobster doesn't feel a fucking thing because it's so slowed down to a point where it won't fucking react to it at all. It's gone. And that's what some people consider to be the most humane way to do it. And it's almost the same principle as this too. So it's I still don't know if it's humane or not, gluing flies to a fucking matchbook and just letting that shit rip through the air. Let's go. Anyway, so here we go. We're attaching the flies using a little drop of rubber cement. Alright, so these things are fucking stuck for good, motherfucker. Now you connect the flies. Now you take the flies out of the freezer, attach the abdomen of one frigid fly to each drop of glue, make sure all the flies are facing the same direction, and then breathe life into the fly. That's actually so fucking poetic and magical. A gentle puff of your warm breath will resuscitate the flies. Could you imagine, though, being the flies? It's almost like the movie Human Centipede and shit, but instead of humans, it's flies, right? So it's they get passed out and shit, and then they wake up knowing that they're attached to this thing for the rest of their fucking, existence. That's really fucked up, man. This has gotten depressing when I didn't think it could get depressing. Launch the aircraft, it should fly like a charm, and far from being cruel to the flies, you'll be teaching them a new and valuable thing. Okay, one that brings, I don't read this, one that brings us the virtue of this existence. For we see that while flies think a lot alike, they have a great deal in common, share many of the same hopes and dreams. They never act in concert as a team. with regard for the worth of other, neighboring flies until forced to by grim circumstance. Thus, for example, when they are harnessed to fly and either first experience the exhilaration of high-altitude cooperation, or die. Wow. Redeemed by such a critical choice, they soar like a glider, race like a stealth, and when overflying a barnyard or kennel, turn into a wicked, awesome dive bomber. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was fucking interesting. I will tell you that right now. I don't know what to fucking say, really, when it comes down to all this shit, other than, holy fuck. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, they took the magic of fucking flies, and, like, they combined them. So basically over here, it's like, flies have a choice. Now that they're flying, when you throw them out, you make the fucking choice. Like, either they fall and die, or they work together. Within the moment, they, like, connect. They're like, oh, they look at the other fly brethren. God forbid you have, like, 20 flies and shit, right? They're all, like, looking at each other like, guys, we better work together, all right? Otherwise, we're dead. This sick human has attached us to a fucking Matchbox plane, and we gotta... That's actually really fucking beautiful. But I wouldn't try this because, frankly... I don't know where I'm going to really capture these many flies, and frankly, I don't know if I have the time and energy to really fucking freeze flies and attach them to a fucking matchbook plane. That's a lot of effort for a pretty fucking grim experiment. So, ladies and gentlemen, that was the fly plane. I think we're going to back out of it. I think we're going to go to something else, because that was a great start, but you know what? So much more to come. The NSA is building the country's biggest spy center. Here we got some Illuminati shit. Now, we haven't covered the NSA in a while, but, you know, for those of you who don't know what the NSA is, typically outside of America, they are the National Security Agency for the United States. Basically, what they do is they do a lot of analytical work, cryptography work, things like that for U.S. intelligence services to basically track down bad people or just to do general surveillance. And they basically had a major scandal kick in when with the whole PRISM experiment, where... them and many other facets of the military intelligence community. That's super weird. I'm getting a call. Hold on. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that was a little weird interruption. I got a call for apparently no reason. I think somebody was just like fucking some weird mic shit. I don't know. It was like breathing or whatever. It's nothing major. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I had a little call to attend to, but I am back with the NSA building the country's biggest spy center. Where I left off was essentially the PRISM system, which was multiple groups of U.S. intelligence services basically running a giant, fucking surveillance operation, not just in the U.S., but in the rest of the world. And basically what they did was, like, it really did piss off a lot of countries because it found out that the U.S. was, like, surveying on, like, other big major world leaders and shit, and they were, I mean, of course, you're gonna be fucking pissed when people are trying to see what you're doing, right? Especially if you're a fucking world leader, too. But anyways, that's not the whole point of it. Let's go into what the NSA is building. So they got a photo where the name is withheld, and the digital manipulation is by Jesse Lands. At least they're getting an actual name or a stage name. That seems like the U.S.'s biggest fucking spy center, but let's go into it. The spring air in the small, sand-dusted town has a soft haze to it, and clumps of green-gray sagebrush rustle in the breeze. Okay. Buffdale, alright, whatever it is, Buffdale sits in the bowl-shaped valley of the shadow of Utah's Wasatch Range to the east and the Oquirrh Mountains to the west. It is the heart of Mormon country, where religious pioneers first arrived more than 160 years ago. They came to escape the rest of the world to understand the mysterious word sent down from their God as revealed on burial golden plates, and to practice what has been known as the principle, marriage to multiple wives. Yeah, Utah is pretty much, for those of you who don't know, the state where a lot of Mormonism is. I think that is one of the states, and also Ohio, where there's a lot of there's a big Mormon population. From what I met, they're very nice people, but, you know, that's not what this article is about. Today, Bluffdale is home to one of the largest sects of polygamists, the Apostolic United Brethren, with upwards of 9,000 members. Anyways, let's go on further and further and further. Well, let's go into a data center. Now, under construction by contractors with top-secret clearances, the brandly named Utah Data Center, that's a very fucking blatant name too, is built for the National Security Agency, a project of immense secrecy. It is the final piece in a complex puzzle assembled over the past decade. Its purpose, to analyze, intercept, decipher and store vast swaths of the world's communication as they zap down from satellites and zip through the underground and undersea cables of international, foreign, and domestic networks. The heavily fortified $2 billion center, wow, should be up and running in September 2013. We're already way past the date. Flowing through its servers and routers and stored as near bottomless databases will be all forms of communication, including the complete contents of private emails, cell phone calls, and Google searches, as well as all sorts of personal data trails, parking receipts, travel itineraries, booking purchases, and other digital pocket litter. It is in some measure the realization of the Total Information Awareness Program, created during the first term of the Bush administration, an effort that was killed by Congress after it caused an outcry over its potential for invading Americans' privacy. I think that's actually like they would mirror the internet away so that they could basically have a one-to-one copy of all internet traffic, and they would just, that's fucked up. They're like, god damn, dude, I don't even want to think about it, man. Like, I have nothing to hide personally. I don't really care, but it's like, it's so fucked up that this exists. But here's the data center. So they're saying this is the visitor control. This almost feels like we're looking at Area 51, except it's all for data. So number one is the visitor control center, which is a 9.7 million facility of ensuring that only cleared personnel gain access. So it's like a giant fucking security gate. Number two is administration. Number three is the data halls, 25,000 square foot facility house rows and rows of servers. That's a lot of processing power and storage. Backup generators and fuel, all right, interesting. Water storage and pumping, so basically that's to like cool the systems out, which is what you do for a lot of servers and supercomputer stuff. Chiller plants, which again aid to cooling these fucking rigs. Power substation, of course, to meet for all the power demands of this fucking massive server supercomputer. And 8 is video surveillance and security services, which, so if you happen to break in, they'll know who the fuck did it and they'll send out a hit squad maybe. Or at least that's what they do in the movies. I don't know if they... You know what, actually, knowing how fucking weird the government can be sometimes, I guarantee you they'll probably send out a fucking hit squad and shit. You know, somebody to your house, fucking waste you. Anyways, a swath of freezing fog blanketed Salt Lake City on the morning of January 6, 2011, mixing with a week-long coating of heavy gray smog. Red air alerts, warning people to stay indoors unless absolutely necessary, had become almost daily occurrences, and the temperature was in the bone-chilling 20s. What I smell and taste is like coal smoke. So essentially what we got over here is like, yeah, I think we're going to look at the flowcharts instead. So basically what's going on is they have satellites, right, from like aerospace data facilities, the NSA headquarters in Fort Meade, White House. Okay, so basically how it works is this. So the NSA, Texas Division, NSA Hawaii, domestic listening posts, domestic overseas listening posts, basically where they have like little listening like devices to capture as much data from anywhere else as they can. NSA Georgia, even all the way from like satellites up in the air sending data to the aerospace data facility, all the way it goes to this giant center in Utah. And from the Utah Center, it goes to this research facility in Oak Ridge, which is where one of the biggest supercomputers by the United States is hosted. So, you know, maybe they might be pulling shit out of that. Then it can go all the way to the NSA headquarters as well, part of that flowchart, all in Fort Meade. And then it goes from there to the White House, CIA, and Pentagon. So, holy fucking shit. Here's the thing. If this is legit, which it's so hard for me to say if it is legit, that's really fucked up, dude. I think we came across some of the more depressing sides of like our world and like the deep web in essence, because like this is the kind of stuff you would see on the deep web. Look, I know a lot of people, like I always like to say that like we always have like freedom to say what we want, but there's got to be limits to everything. There's always a limit to something. This is something that I feel is a limit to people. Like this is some exposure level shit, and it's actually really popular. It's got 861 comments and shit. Let's go to the specified link. Oh, it goes all the way to the actual Wired article. Oh, okay. So basically, it's a Wired article, but they re-imaged it onto the Freenet servers and stuff. Interesting, ladies and gentlemen. I think what I'm reading here is ultimately pretty fucked up. You know, like in the grand scheme of things, like it's like there's limits to everything, and you know what I mean. Like I feel like this is some real shit, you know what I mean? And the thing is, it is real. I'm not going to be some sap and tell you they're not doing it. Everyone's listening into what you say. It's the most valuable fucking thing. It's more valuable than gold now. Ladies and gentlemen, be careful. And frankly, if this is actually a thing, it really doesn't matter how careful you are at this point. Because fuck, man, people can listen in whenever they fucking want. It's fucked up, dude. It really is. God damn. Just be careful on the internet. And frankly, don't do shit that you shouldn't be doing, I guess, because people like this are watching, man. It's like all a server has to do is flag your ass, and You know, you're on some fucking tickets where you're on a flight to somewhere you don't want to be. But I'm not here to try to scare you. Let's back out and go to something else. God damn. Ah, ladies and gentlemen, here we got some foreign sites this time. We have a Chinese website, and you might be wondering why you're showing Chinese, Mutahar. You don't even know how to speak Chinese. Very astute you are, friend. And you know what? I'm totally going to use Google Translate. It might fuck up whatever's written over here, but frankly, what you need to know is the site is dedicated to ways that you can assassinate Chinese president or premier or leader of their Communist Party, which is basically the president, Xi Jinping. For those you don't know, he fucking runs China's Communist Party, you know what I mean? And China has always gotten a very interesting rap. You know, it's one of the world's leading superpowers, but the thing is that it's very unfriendly when it comes to freedom of speech. A lot of the freedoms that I think we take for granted don't fucking exist in China. They definitely don't. I've traveled there a few times. I myself have always really liked the people over there, liked and stuff. I mean, I've definitely seen the extent of how firewall blocked their internet is. And, you know, in some ways it can be very dangerous to be a certain type of person in China. And that's unfortunately something that is, I think, going to stay there for a while. But this is a site dedicated telling you how to assassinate a fucking world leader. You know, if I was in China, this fucking video wouldn't be. I'd probably get fucking killed. I'd probably be flogged and shit right now, dude. I'd be dead. Is what I'd be. There would be a bullet flying into my head. All right, that's what would happen in some like secret government facility in China. But ladies and gentlemen, I think I'm gonna highlight this stuff. I'm gonna fire up Google Translate. Give me 1 second, real quick. Where is Google Translate? Let me just start it up with some quickness. Yeah, let's get the whole app. It's going to basically ruin stuff, but, you know, it's the best we got. So, in Chinese, what we essentially have is, if this is translated, yes, go to English, please. Translate. Assassination Xi Jinping. The dictator Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping asked leaders at all levels to support his position to the core, the collective leadership to abandon the standing committee. Xi Jinping openly violated the Communist Party's own party constitution, convenes support for personal worship, letting others call themselves big. I think the proper word is thick. The spread of songs on the song, nauseating, or even completely disregard of the history of the Communist Party. So basically this dude is like, you know, fucking, he's been shitting on party ideals, which, you know, I feel like if that was to happen, they'd have fucking axed the dude instantly, man. The Chinese are fucking known for this kind of shit. They don't take bullshit is what goes on. Very, very, very straight up fucking devoted people, I will say. Blah, blah. You mentioned something about why they think Xi Jinping is bad. I want to see methods on killing the dude, though. So if I go down over here, this seems like a list that I want to read. So let me just highlight this list, please. And let me read ways that we're going to fucking take care of this this lad. Let me just copy all of it in one stellar go. Oh my god, dude. I'm literally typing this into Google Translate. Like, I'm typing kill Xi Jinping, dude. It doesn't fucking matter if I'm in China. I'm already on a watch list somewhere. Alright, so some suggestions on assassination, alright? So this is like fucking, this is some, killing world leader 101. If not prepared, the action will fall. Senior citizens. Why? Get a map and check where the action is right. Understand the guard situation, security arrangements, especially the location of the camera should pay attention. Plan ahead with at least 2 escape routes. If a gun is used, a muffler should be fitted to the gun. I think it's like flash suppressors and stuff. If possible, to avoid the area where the public is located. Using a silencer prevents the guards from finding the firing position. Yeah, because you're getting rid of a suppressor. I mean, if the silencer is not going to get rid of any like major sound, but it's definitely going to hide your fucking shit. But anyways, let's go. That's you know, I'm getting too into my Call of Duty. But anyways, it may take a few minutes or even hours to prepare for the assassination. I mean, if you're taking over a fucking world leader, dude, it's gonna take a long. I think it takes more than even hours to prep that shit, and you gotta have balls. You need to reserve enough time to hit the deadly. Shooting the gun should be aimed at the head or the heart, either of which is fatal. Oh, no shit. No shit, shooting someone in the head or the heart is fatal. I thought shooting him in the toenail was gonna wipe the dude clean. God damn, this is the most We know this. Either of which is fatal. Weapons should be so used. Shooting other places will only increase the risk of failure. You have only one chance. If the target is critical, you can only shoot once fatal. Never spend time reloading shots. This only exposes the location and causes it to be caught. Other weapons are the same. Repeat, shoot only once. Hit a fatal. Pay attention to camouflage yourself. Do not shoot guards. Do not hesitate. Statistically, the probability of a shot being instantly detected is 15%. The probability of being fired twice is 67%. And the probability of a fire being detected 3 times is 91%. Quick, or you will regret it. I think you're fucking dead the moment you fire the trigger, so you might as well just fucking give up and, like, go ham, I would say. Like, they're gonna kill you. Other assassination. So whether it is poison or explosion, it can also kill in a good way. Apparently something called Total Lion, whatever the fuck that is. Although the gun is the most efficient way, there are many other options. Here are just a few examples. Car bombs. What am I reading? The disadvantage is that car bombs can be easily traced. Cameras and informants everywhere. Trace the source of the car is not very difficult. Poisoning. The method is risky. Poisoned food may be eaten by other people. Poisons also need to choose not easy to probe or automatically decompose after the death of the victim is better. Moreover, get to Z-shipping to eat food is also very difficult. I mean, I guess, you know. Long-range sniper, the safest way. This is the occupation killer's favorite, but also need professional skills and equipment. Okay, I mean, here's the thing, look, alright, I think trying to do this is fun. Not only is it wrong, don't try to kill a fucking world leader, okay? I don't have to explain this, I don't have to give this as a disclaimer, but, there's a reason why this is on Freenet. If you thought we were I mean, we're pretty free and open and shit. I mean, if you talked about killing, like, a president over here, you bet the Secret Service would be on your ass. But, like, this, if they found this shit, oh my god, this is a zip file they're sending? Unknown and potentially dangerous content. Freenet cannot guarantee this file safely. It may cause your browser to give away your IP address and breach your anonymity. The data is of an unknown type. Oh man, I don't want to open liberator.zip, dude. It's like, yeah, wait, what is it? Let me see what the fuck it is. I think we can just get by the name of it too. I'm not gonna download anything that's like fucking... that I shouldn't be even download. I shouldn't even fucking be on the site, really, but, you know, I am, and that's all fine. Some of the old data on open source 3D printing pistols. Oh my god! It's like the, it's like that site we saw, the DEF CON, what was it, the DEF CON library or some shit. Ladies and gentlemen, 3D printed pistols, right here. If you need fucking 3D printed guns, you fucking get 3D printed guns! Oh my god! It's like, holy shit, dude. They fucking supply everything. It's like, it's so weird. We live in an age where you can print fucking assassin tools with a fucking printer. Xi Jinping has a major murder suspect. Oh, so this is like evidence against him, I guess. Interesting indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't think I should really be here anymore. Let me tell you, kill department. Oh my god. I think I'm going to open that. What is this? Oh no, it takes us back here. Wait a minute. Oh no, it just takes us to like separate parts of the page. Ladies and gentlemen, I am on a website dedicated to the assassination attempts and tips and tricks of killing one of the biggest world leaders on the planet. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a surrealness to the series that I feel I've always had since day one. And this site proves it, even in episode number 82. We've had so many sites about wasting people and shit, but sometimes they seem like jokes. Here, not only do we have, like, plans and tips and tricks, motherfucker even gave 3D printed pistol files. I mean, this is fucked up. Like, this is a surreal location that I'm in right now. Like, I feel kind of fucking dirty looking at this. But, you know, we're gonna back out. Alright? Oh my god. We're gonna back out and go to something else, dude. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. We have our deep web video of the week. And frankly, I am deathly afraid of whatever we're about to see. Because not only is it recorded in ever-glorious iPhone resolution. You know, the ever-lovely fucking aspect ratio it's got. But we got this handsome looking gold fella right here, and I don't know what the fuck to expect, ladies and gentlemen. We got about a minute and 12 seconds of this, and I really hope nothing fucked up or weird happens, because frankly, it's late at night, and just looking at that kind of spooks me already. Send some bad vibes, but let's hit play and see what it's all about. Here we got a handsome young lad. I think he's fucking shirtless, to be honest. Alright. What is he looking at us for? Like, that's so weird. Well, he's clearly not saying anything. Dude, if I see your if this is like some elaborate chat roulette dick thing, I'm not excited. What the fuck has he got? He's got like a note down there. What? the fuck? Naughty. Naughty. Jester. Telling secrets. What the fuck? It's like smiley faces and shit. Wait, telling secrets again. Wait, whoa, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the fuck? There's like something written over here, hold on, let me stop. Okay, that's very weird. I don't know what the fuck to say about that. Okay, clearly nothing evil or depressing or dark happened in it, but we got a note here, and I can't really get the note clearly. Unfortunately, let me try fucking figuring this out. Okay, hold on. Well, the fact is he's pointing a flashlight at it. I'm trying to read the bottom. So, let's read the note first. Basically, the note says, naughty, naughty jester telling secrets again. And it's got a bunch of these weird smiley faces. I think, like, that one in the middle, though, that's weird. It's got, like, a fucking, like, little cross thing on its head. Ugh. But, if you go around over here, he's got, like, Selims or something like that. And he's got, like, 40 bracketed with something. But he's also got 2002 to, like, 2012? Wait, hold on. 40 more to come. Huh. Ent Selim. It's like Ent Selim. Is that... Could it be in a different language there? Huh. Hold on. Yeah, so basically it's 97, 2002, 2012, 40. So Ent Selims is what we got. We got like a bunch of these smiley faces and shit. But this person's like clearly just sitting in the dark with that mask on trying to like... I guess maybe scare... Yeah, 1997 is what it is. All right, that's what for some reason, like, it's too blurry to pick up over here. There's, like, some words, like, down in this section that I'm trying to figure out, but I can't get to just because of the capture of it. I think what's written over there is of, so, like, O and F. Ent Selims, 1997. I think these are years that are correlating to something. 2002, 2012. And you have 40 more to come. I don't know how to feel about this, ladies and gentlemen. I feel like we're supposed to get a message from this individual over here, but that's really all we get. The dude is sitting shirtless with this creepy fucking mask on, with this note that he's written, and it's like, what is the ultimate goal of all this? No, nothing ever gets said. Dude points a flashlight, shows us the note, and that's it. It just ends. Like, here's the thing, man. This is an edgy project, but it's like at the same time, it's always the same thing I ask. It's like, why? You know what I mean? Like, sometimes you sit there and you're like, why the fuck? You know what I mean? Would you, like, fucking do this sometimes? It's like, it's just so it's so fucking weird. It really is. It's like, who the hell? Even if this is fake, being filmed, it's like, why? What the hell? But if it's not fake, it's like, clearly it's like, we're getting a message. But the thing is, I don't know if the message is super old, ladies and gentlemen, because, like, we get what seems to be years, and it ends at 2012. 2012 is when I started my whole YouTube channel. But then the dude says 40 more to come. What are 40 more to come? What, like 40, like in 40 years, 40 times in 2012? Like, what the hell are we supposed to expect? And who is the jester that is telling dirty, dirty secrets? I think there's not much more for me to analyze over here other than just being confused, really. But clearly what we're stepping into here is an ARG. We're stepping into somebody trying to send a message. I don't know whether it's bad or whether it's good. Frankly, I think we're just being jerked off, but I welcome it because it's some fun stuff to get into. But let's back out of here and go somewhere else. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is things that would complicate my life. All right, this is somebody's website that basically talks about things that cat vlogs. Wait, let me see this. Ladies and gentlemen, this is things that are complicating this individual's life. I'm going to open up a page real quick. Let that fire up. Is this going to give me something? But ladies and gentlemen, they got a bunch of text files over here. They got 0000 text, 001 text, 0002 text, 0003 text. And I know I missed one of the zeros in 0001. I apologize for that wholeheartedly. Ladies and gentlemen, wow, that is still loading all the way through. But here it is. I have a rule that I follow, and that I never say anything that sounds like I'm asking for help. I can't play a game where people know I'm following a pattern which will get them to do something for me. People have to want to help me. I can't say what I just said, at least not when I'm hurting, and there's something I need. I can say it here, even though I'm thinking about this because my heart is in my throat, and something is very wrong. I can say it here because you can't comment, and you can't find me. This is my rule because everything that comes to me from another being has to be completely real. I don't want to wonder, not for an instant, but if they would rather not deal with me and feel compelled to, I wonder that anyway, which is fudged up, which is part of the problem, which is why I'm thinking about this in writing. 033988 meta. I don't like the idea that the 0000 blog entry is emo, but it is. And the main reason I have this blog, I have another blog that is comment enabled on the unfreenet and not anonymous, okay, is so that there's a place where I won't apologize because no one has a face to judge. I do have stuff of a different nature to not apologize about, though. I don't plan on writing an entirely emo blog. Please do. It's actually really enticing. Come back or don't. I don't know. And that, in an uncomfortable way, is so damn refreshing. Alright, so basically, this is a dude that doesn't feel like apologizing, and I guess don't. One of his vlog, by the way, is just unavailable, unfortunately. I will try retrying it, but I don't think I'm going to get it. But God has no significance to us in any way that doesn't have everything to do with us. Does that sound inane, or does that sound profound, or do you not buy any of that higher power crap? If you choose number 3, save your time and move on. If you chose 1 or 2, I think you're right. In a way, that sentence says that things that are significant to us are significant for us, which is redundant. But the point of this quote is exactly the redundancy. It's saying that service to God benefits us. It's saying that since everything about God is important to us, everything important has personal significance. It says that our separation from God is imaginary, and our significance and God's significance are the same. If everything about God is something about us, and God is everything, well, I've said enough. Dude, you are. Why is it that, either I find conspiracies, killing world leaders, or God? Please! Just give me, Care Bear shit, or, fucking, I don't know, hentai or something, man. God damn. All right, here we go. We got 033988 2007 0619 B0. I think that's some weird cipher or code. Let's go to the second one. No, it always changes by number. I think that might be 2007 07 16 16. I think it's a date moniker. I don't know what it is. It's just a signature. I wonder if my interest in the girl I met for lunch is genuine. Ooh. Our floggers in love. I wonder if my interest in anyone is completely genuine. I have a view of the world and the people. When I come in contact with an actual situation that would correlate with an imagined situation, life plays out completely differently. Dude, story of my fucking life. The girl I met for lunch is one of the sexiest honeys I know of. I fell in love with her before, but I don't know about her significant other. I thought I had a chance. She's a friend now. Oh, friend-zoned. But friend zones don't exist, come on now. But what kind of friend is she? Sometimes I think I love her, but it's been months since we saw each other, and now it seemed extremely low-key, which is what I was shooting for. I liked lunch a lot. I like that she wanted to meet me after all the time and wants to do it again. I like that I'm not a problem for her. I like that I don't want more than to have jokes and conversation. But it was different in my head. How much of life is different than what is in my head? But I don't notice, because it's more passive. Hey, I think that's fine, dude. You gotta just have good times, I guess. It's like Keanu Reeves. How do you spell Keanu? Who is really a blank slate. He doesn't act. He just follows the plot and goes, whoa, that's actually the truest fucking thing imaginable. Honestly, Keanu Reeves, fucking can't act for shit. Honestly, there's a lot of times where, by the way, no disrespect, I love Keanu Reeves, but goddamn, dude, that was actually the truest fucking statement of 2017 so far. He literally just goes and says, whoa. It's kind of fucking John Wick in a nutshell, dude, if you watch that. Guys can identify with him and girls can fall in love with him because he doesn't give you reasons not to. He's 50% gray, a blank piece of paper, but surely as rocks hurt when you hit them against your head and Bush is stupid. Keanu has personal issues he deals with. He has quirks like how he spits his toothpaste into the sink, and grudges he holds against old friends, and opinions that burn inside of him you might like, but only if you agree. You don't see that. I want to make a difference in the world. I want to bring people together so they can have a power as an organization. I want to take a step, however small and however futile, towards a utopian ideal of universal peace. And even if I do and my ideas work, they'll turn out completely differently than they are in my head, won't they? Will I be happy with that? Will I look back and say I would make all the same choices? Point being, we're blind. God, this is getting heavy, man. I'm bringing Keanu Reeves into this shit. I believe in manifesting things via willpower, or a connection to something higher, or I don't know, actually. And quite frankly, I don't give a damn how it works. It's a feeling, a concept that is ridiculously old, but also almost completely undescribable with any verbiage that has made it into my English vocabulary. I think your vocabulary says, sniff your own asshole. I believe that you meet the love of your life and other amazing opportunities when you're least expecting it for a reason. I do agree on that. In my life personally, when it came to amazing opportunities and finding genuine love and stuff, It has been when I least expected it, so I do agree on that. I think when you aren't chasing things, and you just act like a good person generally, you end up getting some really fucking good shit. You end up getting some good stuff anyways. It's like, it's actually pretty fucking decent, I will say. That, it's weird. It really is weird, but, it's like, what the fuck? I don't know. Anyways, I believe that you will meet the love of your life and other amazing opportunities when you're least expecting it. I don't know what the reason is, but it's there. It probably has something to do with the resistance you have to your own will. You know how everyone has little demons telling you that you can't have what you want? And you have to be realistic about it, but not only expect the same thing that, not only expecting yesterday. I think that when you're not trying so hard is when you stop hating yourself for it. And when, forgive the cliche phrasing, your connection with destiny can work its magic. But how does one use this connection with destiny? The Rosicrucians had the best idea about it that I've come across. Their approach to prayer is much like a coach's approach to the psychological aspect of training. You first relax. Let go of your problems for the moment, clear your mind of distracting thoughts as much as possible, then visualize your goal as clearly as possible for as long as it takes to flesh it out and solidify your conception of it. And then you forget about it. Let it go, think about something else, and don't get your hopes up. But have faith that something happened, and that your slip of paper has been put into a big request box of God, or the Earth Mother, or whatever the fuck you don't believe in. Hopefully, I'll soon get to try out doing a shamanistic journey, wow, that was awful, which involves coercing your brainwaves into a sleep-like state while remaining conscious. My God, this got deep. I really do like this vlog, man. I mean, we spent a lot of time on it, but it's like, a lot of what was said here is actually true. The series is like weird. It's like you find funny stuff, you find weird stuff, you find like scary stuff. You find a lot of weird videos. But I think one of the cool things that you do also find is like the stuff that like makes you sort of think about yourself. I love these moments. Like whenever I'm on this site and I can like leave, whenever I finish a recording, I hit the end and I look at it and say, I actually fucking learned something that day. Or like, this really did mean a lot. This is one of those moments. And frankly, I think all of these little things combined into the Deep Web series is what makes me ultimately do it on a weekly basis. It's fucking great, dude. I gotta say, like, it's sometimes it can be chilling, sometimes it can be laughable, and sometimes it can be downright, fucking giving you an epiphany and shit. This really does speak out to me. But you know what? I think we spent way too much time on this lovely man's or woman's words, and I think it's time we go into something else and just see what it's all about, dude. Point is, Keanu Reeves can't act. Let's go. California Skywatch, protecting your right to know. Ladies and gentlemen, you ever heard of fucking chemtrails and shit? For those of you who don't know what chemtrails is a giant conspiracy where people really believe that the government is spraying stuff into the fucking air and shit. Like, some people go as far as to say it's like fluoride or whatever that drives people into this brainwashed state or like kills them or something. Like, it's a really weird situation. For those of you who kind of want to know what I'm talking about, look up in the air whenever you see like a jet flying, right? Like a plane or whatever. And they have like this trail. Right, they just build this trail of like just exhaust from their plane, and I guess that's the closest thing to chemtrails I would really say. Something like what you're seeing in this photo right here too is I guess a giant trail left behind by a fucking plane and whatnot. No government agency or private corporation has the right to pollute our air or drinking water supplies, modify our weather, or impact the living environment around us, including the upper atmosphere, which is very true. I don't think, like, if such a conspiracy was to happen, like if the government was polluting stuff, creating random fucking clouds, or really ingesting things into the air that shouldn't really be there in the first place, whatever good or bad it might be, I don't think they should do it. I think it's kind of fucking shady and weird, but you know what? That's a whole different fucking video, and that's not on this channel. But let's go into this. 2008. By the way, a lot of these sites are really, really fucking old. Like, holy crap, 2010, 2011, those are like the most recent we're getting. But anyways, here we go. Aviation environment. The U.S. Government Accountability Office states aviation emissions are a potential significant and growing percentage of greenhouse gases and other emissions that are thought to contribute to global warming. Please don't turn this into a political battlefield. I don't care what people's thoughts are on global warming right now, okay? We're talking about chemtrails and shit. But let's go into, like, jet fuel emissions, jet trail. Let's fire up Arizona. Or, no, we're going to keep jet fuel. Fuck rocket fuel. Actually, no, let's keep Canada Skywatch. Some of that I'm gonna go to like rocket fuel and shit. I want to see jet fuel. Every time I hear jet fuel, I just remember the fucking 9/11 meme or whatever. It's like jet fuel can't melt steel beams and shit. It's almost like that. But anyways, let these sites load up. Yeah, a lot of these sites are run on like Freenet and stuff. I don't know why you have to typically hide this, like this kind of stuff. Like maybe it's just a mirror, like that whole article with the NSA. For some people just leave it on here, and it's like, I guess to maybe keep it always up there or something. I don't know. It's interesting. The bees are disappearing. Interesting there. Bottled water, another new fad, one of the most successful advertising hypes. Americans paid $7.7 billion in bottled water. Man, I'm drinking a meme right here on this site. But here they got some natural man-made chemtrails right over here. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like when you see a plane fly, they leave these gases and stuff behind too. And I always really looked at it more so like just exhaust, to be honest. But I can kind of see why it really fucks with the environment a little bit too, because it's like it just lingers there in such a abnormal length too. But here you can almost see like it's a little bit of a fucking art form and shit. Black trails though, that's a little weird. That's like they're really putting shit into the air. But ladies and gentlemen, they've got some interesting stuff. They got like the toothpaste trail. They've got a propeller. That's a weird chemtrail. It's like fucking both of them X This is what? The twist looks like some DNA shit. Sawtooth, feather, knots on a rope. It almost seems like the engine is pooping itself as it flies through. Ocean wave, a ribbed trail. God, I'm a fucking child. X large trail, expanded X large, propeller feather, blah blah blah. The zigzag, ladies and gentlemen. We have the artistic forms of fucking chemtrails right over here. And they got a lot more. And I think this whole site is basically all Florida oriented. Oh no! No. It seems like the site's health is really, really bad. That's unfortunately the problem with a lot of the Freenet sites. Is the health of many of these sites are really, really bad. How it works is basically you need to have like a bunch of redundancies to really create the web page from. Unfortunately, they don't exist anymore over here. So we really just have this page to go off of. Now I'm just going to go up a little bit to the top. I feel like this is just a mirror. They even have something called Dolphins Dancing, whatever the fuck that's all about. All right. You can basically create yourself a login over here and I guess join a community of people that are basically all about the exposing of chemtrails and man-made skies. It asks you, do you like your weather? Natural or man-made? Now, I don't think the government really controls the weather and shit. I don't think about that. That's I don't like to think that shit. You know what I mean? I don't like to think that the government can conjure up tornadoes or whatever, but you know, whatever, right? What is this? The Agricultural Defense Coalition. Yeah, holy crap. It's actually like just a mirror of like fucking what? That is so weird. Wait, hold on. If I can just go over here and like enter this webpage, am I going? Oh, it's a totally different webpage than what they got over here. California Skywatch is one thing, and they got one thing over here. And actually, it seems like a lot of stuff, for example, like the jet trails, apparently Canada, rocket fuel, isn't actually available on this webpage anyways. But they got stuff like honeybees and weather modification. Let me actually click weather modification. You know, they're going to talk about weather mods. They're going to talk about, oh my god, the site is slow as shit. It's a big boy site. Holy crap. They got a whole thing about honeybees. And apparently how honeybees are like disappearing or something. I don't know much about that. But apparently, this is the Agricultural Defense Coalition, a site that shows one face on the clear web and then one face behind the world of Freenet. Interesting indeed. And it almost seems like this, oh yeah, it's trying to run Flash. Don't run Flash. Ladies and gentlemen, interesting stuff indeed. I think if you're really interested in keeping our environment and stuff safe, or trying to learn about what the government could be doing to the sky, nowhere but I think the theme of this whole fucking episode has been the government, the NSA, the fucking killing of Xi Jinping, and California sky watching, all peppered in between a person and their lovely expose into like weird aspects of life. God, I love Deep Web episoding at 82 so far, dude. It's actually God, this is a very pleasant episode so far. Let's hope it continues that way. So this is something written on the November 1st of 2011, Windows Zero-Day Kernel Exploit. Dooku installer contains Windows kernel 0-day. I have no idea why this article is mirrored on here, by the way, but this is by Dennis Fisher, apparently. A newly discovered installer for the Dooku malware includes an exploit for a previously unknown vulnerability in the Windows kernel that allowed remote code execution. Microsoft is working on a fix to the kernel vulnerability right now. The exact location Oh my god, wow, it's totally not word-wrapped. The exact location of the nature of the flaw isn't clear right now. The installer discovered by researchers at the Hungarian lab that first found Dooku is a Word document that once opened exploits the kernel flaw and then installs the Dooku code on the machine. In an analysis of the installer, the attack semantic researchers found that the installer, discovered by Crisis Labs at the Budapest University of Technology and Economics, was specifically written to be useful against one organization's environment. It was only designed to be installed during a period of 8 days in August. Interesting. All right. Once Deku is able to get a foothold in an organization through the zero, I swear I remember hearing about Zuku. I swear I heard about it, but I never really went into ham trying to figure it out. But goes through a zero-day exploit. The attackers can command it to spread to other computers. In one organization, evidence was found that showed that attackers commanding Zuku was spread across SMB shares. Interestingly, though, some of the newly infected computers did not have the ability to connect to the internet, and thereby the command and control CNC server. The Dooku configuration files on these computers were instead configured not to communicate directly to the CNC server, but to use a file-sharing CNC protocol with another compromised computer that has the ability to... Wow. So basically it keeps finding... So basically what it does is it will spread across a local area network, even though, if it's not connected to a global master server, it'll still, if the computers are connected in the same local network to each other, it'll keep spreading around until it finds a proper link to go to where it needs to. That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. Microsoft officials said they're working on a patch to fix a kernel bug right now. Microsoft is collaborating with various partners, blah, 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 blah. There's been a lot of discussion in the security community about the origins and intent of Dooku, with some researchers speculating that it might be somewhat similar to Stuxnet and may have in fact been written by the same people. That's fucking scary. Others have said that the newer malware is unlike Stuxnet in many ways. The Dooku is more likely a customizable attack framework designed to be used as needed in different environments. The discovery of a previously unknown Windows kernel bug in use by Dooku will strengthen the comparisons, as Stuxnet included several Windows 0 days. Symantec has also said in a newer example, blah, blah, blah. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, what this is basically an article detailing a fucking Windows 0 day hack. For those of you who don't know what a 0 day hack is, 0 day hacks are essentially hacks where it's an exploit, vulnerability, whatever you want to call it, that gets discovered, but it's one of those discoveries that never makes it public. So basically what happens is, say for example, let's say the iPhone gets a hack, right? Like a 0-day vulnerability, right? Like to remotely jailbreak and fucking pull files out of it, right? And ISIS, for example, like a terrorist organization, buys that kernel exploit, right? A kernel exploit that nobody knows, hence the term 0-day, because nobody knows if the exploit really exists. The people that are coding the OS, the people that are coding a lot, they don't even know. The exploit exists, they have just no idea of it. So basically they keep using that, they'll buy the exploit for millions of dollars, right? They'll buy it for a large sum of cash, and they'll use the exploit enough to do whatever they fucking want until eventually it one day gets fixed. Because most of these exploits, as time goes on, it gets discovered. Some people, white hat hackers, will essentially find these and they'll report them publicly, or they'll send it over as bounties to, let's say, Apple, right? And Apple will be like, well, thank you. Sometimes we'll give it a reward, and frankly, they'll patch up the issue so that nothing untoward can really happen. That's essentially what a 0-day basically comes out to be. So this was an article that was focusing on something called Dooku, which apparently is something designed to really infiltrate into security networks for big corporations, big enterprises, really. And that's actually pretty scary because we live in a day and age where everything is connected to the internet, right? Everything is connected. And the thing is that everyone's files get shared, everything is shared, especially now the fact that we're running on things such as the cloud. Every time you use YouTube, you use Facebook, you use Google Photos, for example. Every time you take a photo, say, and for example, let's say again, I'm using Apple as a primary example. You take a photo and you have iCloud enabled. That photo gets saved it gets saved to a cloud. It gets saved to a set of servers somewhere far off in the world, let's say fucking Santa Monica or some shit like that. And they stay there. They're backed up all over the world. And the thing is, because all of this information is just spread out all over the world, this is the information people die and crave to steal and access. And why viruses like this, exploits that people don't know of, exist wholeheartedly on everything. There's no way to figure this out. These will always exist and people will always find a way to use them. And the thing is, I don't mean to scare you, but out there could literally be hundreds of thousands, millions of 0-days that exist for a lot of common devices. And the thing is, you wouldn't know, right? And one day they'll probably get patched, or maybe they might not. Who fucking knows? But ladies and gentlemen, this was a 0-day kernel exploit, apparently. A lot of these exist. They're kept very hidden within communities just so that they can be exploited for as long as they really can. I know this might not be interesting to a lot of people, but this is the kind of stuff that exists on the internet over here, and I wanted to show you a little bit of the scarier side too, to be honest, but I feel like we're getting way into the technicals of a lot of things. So we're going to back out and get out of here. Scary stuff indeed, I will say, from a very... It's very chilling once you understand the true extent of how dangerous this kind of stuff and how, like, what really is at stake, right? I don't mean to fearmonger, but it's just, I'm giving you a realistic portrait of what to expect from viruses like this. Not just now in 2011, but like, well, now it's 2017, but as time goes on and more things get sent to the cloud. This was written at a time where we didn't have cloud infrastructure. Well, we did, but they weren't as intense as they are now. And right now, with all the information flowing everywhere, it's even more scary for it to be around. There needs to be way more encryption and shit. But all that set aside, let's go out and see something else. And ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the Deep Web Browsing episode number 82, ladies and gentlemen. That was an interesting episode. A lot of government stuff, a lot of interesting life-altering, life-realizing quests. And I guess you could say we learned something about chemtrails and whatnot. Basically, it was a very informative episode, very eye-opening episode, and we got a video that frankly leaves me with so many questions that I'm not even going to fucking bother going into that. But, as always, I do want to ask what you thought of the episode, because frankly, I did rather enjoy it. I think we had moments into this where it was one of those memorable moments of the entire series, and 82 is definitely a very interesting episode for me so far. But I'm going to end it over here. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been Deep Web Browsing, episode number 82. This is your host, Mudahar, and I am